Right, morning. I'm just going to do a quick Bible study. Um, I think people have got the wrong idea, completely got the wrong idea. They have no idea. Someone posted yesterday and I answered it. He started laughing at me. Do you know, like it was funny? And then I just got a line of false prophets and da 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 da. So we'll do a little Bible study. And let's have a look at Jesus himself. And we'll do a comparison between what people believe and what Jesus said in the book. So we're going to start at, first of all, the tree and its fruit. So it's Matthew 7:15. Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. By their fruit you will recognise them. Do people pick grapes from the thorn bushes, or figs from thistles? Likewise, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus, by their fruit you will recognize them. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only he who does the will of my Father in heaven. Many say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons and perform many miracles? And then I will tell them plainly, I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers. So, haven't I cast out demons, performed miracles? And Jesus says to them, away from me, you evildoers. I'm going to give you another verse. So, Matthew 13:53. Right. A prophet without honour, it's called this. The Bible that I'm using here, I've got a King James and I've got a Catholic Good News Bible, I've got a Living Bible. I've got a few, I've got a few different versions, but this is an old NIV from, I think it's from 1950s, but it's not the new NIV is terrible, it's really bad. Anyway, so Matthew 13:53. When Jesus had finished these parables, he moved on from there. Coming to his hometown, he began teaching the people in their synagogue, and they were amazed. Where did this man get his wisdom and all these miraculous powers? They asked. Isn't this the carpenter's son? Isn't his mother's name Mary? And aren't his brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? Aren't all his sisters with us? Where did this man get all these things? And they took offence at him. But Jesus said to them, only in his own town and his own house is a prophet without honour. And he did not do many miracles there because of their lack of faith. So just looked again at Jesus and what he's doing and understanding that he's saying that people in his hometown who knew him didn't have any faith because they still believed he was the same person. They didn't believe that he's changed, and they were jealous and judgmental of him. And I've been getting like me since I've been enlightened and since I became awake since I performed all the esoteric stuff that's in the Bible, there's a process that's in the Bible that you have to go through that's hidden within it. And I'm just going to talk about that a little bit. But first of all, we need to know the times. So, Matthew 14:15. What is it? Matthew 14:15. As evening approached, his disciples came to him and said, "This is a remote place, and it's already getting late. Send the crowds away so that they can go to the villages and buy themselves some food." Jesus replied, They do not need to go away. You give them something to eat." "We have here only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish," they answered. "Bring them here to me," he said. And he directed the people to sit down on the grass. Taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish and looking up to heaven, that's a metaphor. The 2 fish and looking up to heaven, the 2 fish in heaven is the age of Pisces, which is when Jesus came. He was the master at that time in the age of Pisces. And I'll just carry on a little bit because he gave thanks and he broke the loaves and he gave them to the disciples. Doesn't say anything about the fish. Doesn't say anything about him cutting the fish up. He said he's looking up to heaven at the fish. And he brought the 5 loaves and they ate and were satisfied. And the disciples picked up the 12 basketfuls of broken pieces that were left over. The number of those who ate was about 5,000 men, besides women and children. That's a metaphor as well. So within the Bible, there's a process that you have to go through. Jesus died at 33. There's 33 vertebrae that go down your spine. You've got your pineal gland and your pituitary gland in your brain. And you've got a corpus collosum, it's called, which joins the hemispheres of your brain together. Right now, when you're born and you've not gone through this process, you use a minimal of your brain. You're like an animal, basically. And you can't see clearly. And what happens is, you've got to, the land of milk and honey in the Bible, that's in the Old Testament, the land of milk and honey is the pineal and pituitary gland. They produce substances that look like milk and honey in the brain. So the pituitary gland produces an oil once a month around your birthday. And what you have to do is preserve that oil. Now the word Christ, it has 2 meanings, dual meaning. It means oil at first. It means oil. But it also means crystal clear. So the oil is released once a month. And it descends the spine, the 33 vertebrae, to the sacral pump at the base of the spine. It's then, over 3 days, pumped back up the spine into the brain, where it's the pineal gland, and it releases DMT in the brain and makes the 2 hemispheres of the brain fire loads of neurons. There's about 20 million neurons, I think, that start firing, and it connects the left and right hemispheres of your brain. Now, I used to be right-handed, me. If you look at people, they're either left or right-handed, And that's because they're polarised. It's because the right and left hemispheres of the brain aren't joined together. So you have to go through this process. It's called enlightenment. And after you've completed this process and preserved this oil, and I'll tell you how to do it in a minute, you can see clearly. You know, you're not an animal anymore. So the way that you preserve this oil is by fasting from the world is the best way. Is by isolating yourself. Isolate yourself from everybody. Eat no meat at all. You can't eat meat. You should give up meat anywhere. I had a bit of meat today, but I'd just have it as a treat now. But I'm trying my best. I stay off it. But to preserve this oil in your brain and to get you, it looks like the Ark of the Covenant. If you cut the brain in a cross section, it looks like the Ark of the Covenant, and it fires the wings, the angel wings, are the two hemispheres of the brain. And when they fire the neurons, 20 million neurons there is. And when they fire, the two hemispheres of the brain join, and you then become ambidextrous. You can use both hands then, not just one. You can write with your left or your right. You can breeze books. You can look at a book like this. Just look at the page as a whole and take it in. And that might seem strange to you, that you don't have to read it out like I said before, but you don't. You just have to look at the page. It goes straight into your subconscious, and then you can recall it like that. It just comes. You're like a supercomputer then. It's completely different. Things are different. So where did Jesus get all them powers from? I've just read it out in A Prophet Without Honour, it's called, the verse in Matthew. Matthew 13:53. Jealousy is an evil emotion. Judging people is an evil emotion. What you need to do is, around your birthday, you need to fast for a couple of days. And then just eat vegetables. Just eat pulses and stuff like that. There's a bit in Daniel where he does a Daniel fast. You can do that. You can do the Daniel fast. You can become enlightened that way. When Daniel sees the angel. There's another verse as well. I'll just read it out. So Genesis 32:30. I'll just find it. Genesis 32:30. So, and Jacob said, "Please tell me your name." But he replied, "Why do you ask my name?" Then he blessed him there. So Jacob called the place Pineal, saying, "It's because I saw God face to face and my life was spared." So you meet God face to face. It's kind of a metaphor. When you're enlightened, you become all-knowing. You're connected then to everything. You're connected to the world at large. After that, you become like a radio, and you can tune in to different chakras at will. Obviously, you've got to use intent, will, and it's got to be for good. Basically, your higher self, you become your higher self then. Yeah. I'm not saying that I have powers. I don't have powers. What I am saying is, I know the times, I know the season, I know the Bible back to front. I've gone through Enlightenment, and we're just going to look quickly at Jesus. So Jesus said in the Bible, do not worship me. People worship Jesus. He said, don't worship me. Jesus said, pray to the Father who is in heaven. And he knows what you want. And it's already done. Say, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Yeah? Now, people walking round, putting their hands on people, and in Jesus' name, doing stuff. I've just read out the verse there where it says what Jesus will say to them. I never knew you. Depart from me. My purpose, I know my purpose. And I'm waiting. When God's ready, I'm ready. I know my purpose. I know what I'm doing. Exactly what I'm doing. If people would listen to me and go through the process, it's Christ consciousness, it's called, I think, or the sacred secretion, or the Christ, the oil, the crystal. That's where you get the saying crystal clear from. I'm pretty sure that no, I won't go down that road. So I'm not an idiot. I don't go out and do stuff for reward, for gain, for myself. I don't gain myself. I don't care about gaining. I care about my people. If somebody's hurt, if somebody's in pain, if somebody needs wisdom, if somebody needs teaching, if somebody needs helping, if somebody needs something from me, I'm there for them. But people run from me. They flee. Because I see through them. You can't lie to me. I use all of my brain. Yeah, people come up to me with a little monkey brain and think that they're trying to convince me. And sorry, you're not going to convince me. I'm all-knowing and I see through. I can tell you what you're going to say before it comes out your mouth. I can tell you when you're lying. I can tell. I can tell you everything about yourself. Because we're all one. We're all connected. And people think people are just disconnected at the moment. They need to get reconnected. You have to go through this process. People are looking outwards to judge others. Looking out and saying, why has he got this? That is jealousy. He's not this. People are putting themselves in this bit. I've just told you the process that you go through, the science of it, and what you need to do to become enlightened. And when you become enlightened, come back and talk to me. Otherwise, just shut up. I don't want to know. I've had enough of people thinking that they know what they're talking about when they haven't got a clue. Half of the people that are arguing me haven't even read the Bible. I know the Bible in Hebrew. Yeah, I learned Hebrew. I've learned other languages. But you learn things very fast when you're using all your brain. Now I'm here for people, for advice if you need me. The posts that I put up there are very carefully chosen, and they're channeled. They don't come from me, they come through me. Everything I say is decreed. Everything I do, apart from when I'm on my own in isolation, is serving others. So if you want to judge me, judge me. There's the science. There's the book. Go and read your Bible. Go and study quickly, because there's not much time. And look again at your Bible. Because if you read the Bible as a story from start to finish, you're in trouble. You're going to be on your knees, burning holes in your knees, thinking that's praying. That's not praying. Praying is being still and knowing who God is. Meditating. You have to meditate and patiently wait, and the information comes in. Things don't come through force. Force and rushing and all this I want this tomorrow stuff is Luciferian. It's nothing to do with, it's not godly. It's pushing an agenda. So people have to dissolve their ego, basically. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to leave it for now. But take it easy, everyone. Peace. My name's Mark, and I'll answer any questions that anybody's got. For synchronicity, I'm going to stop it at 2222. And bless everyone. I hope everyone has a good day. And wish you all well. Peace and love, and I hope everyone's good.